Hello everyone, we're talking about hydration. This is such an important subject. After breath, after oxygen, hydration is the next most important element to keep your body functioning. And so many people are walking around chronically dehydrated. So I'm going to tell you a little formula that you can use to see if you're drinking the right amount of water. So the formula is you take your body weight in pounds. So my body weight is 120 pounds and you do 2/3 of that. So 2/3 of 120 is 80. So that means that I should be drinking 80 ounces of water a day. Now this converts to 2.3 litres or 5 pints. So I'm going to show you how much that is. So this is approximately a pint. So I need to drink approximately 5 of these a day. Now, if you're doing exercise, there we go. If you're doing exercise, then your water intake needs to increase. If you're drinking lots of caffeine, then your water intake needs to increase. This is an approximation. Of course, if you're eating lots of foods that are high in water content, then you don't need to drink quite so much. So if you're having lots of melon, cucumbers, things like this, these have a very high water content. So you're going to be getting that hydration through your food as well. So this is a rough guide for you to start thinking about. Are you getting enough water every day? And if you're not, how is this impacting on your health? They say that actual thirst is the last sign of dehydration. Our brain cells start to lose cognitive function when they start to get dehydrated. So this is the first place, our brain, that starts to get dehydrated. Our cells start to shrivel when we don't have enough water. So if we're dehydrated, it's harder to think properly. It's harder to really operate mentally clearly. So this is a really important aspect of hydration. Not only that, but when you hydrate yourself, you're flushing out the toxins from your body. So you're helping your body's natural elimination processes. And this is so key. A lot of people struggle from constipation because they're not going to the toilet. They're not going to the toilet enough, which means that all of this fecal matter is sitting in their colons, being reabsorbed. All of those toxins your body's trying to get out, being reabsorbed into your body. And why are so many people constipated? Well, a large part is down to dehydration. So let's get our water in and let's make sure we're having it. Now, when we look at water, that's the first aspect of it, but there's so many more elements to drinking water than just making sure you're drinking the right amount. We are very, very blessed in the UK to be able to turn on a tap and get water that is safe to drink, that's not going to kill us. However, that water is filled with a lot of chemicals. On the last count, water has approximately 700 chemicals in. That's a lot of chemicals. And those chemicals range from the cleaning agents that are used to make that water clean for us to drink, to hormones from birth control pills, to antibiotics from people taking them, to all kinds of pharmaceutical medicines. But not only that, also traces of things like cadmium from batteries and other heavy metals are found in our water supplies. So what can we do about it? Well, there's a range of things we can do. First of all, we can get a charcoal stick and put this into water. We can get some shungite. This is another way we can start to filter water. We can get a great water filter. You can distill or reverse osmosis your water. You can get beautiful things like this that bring structure back into the water, because this is the next side of it. It's the structure to the water. So I have this beautiful carafe here, which has the flower of life design on the bottom, and it's designed in this way so that as the water goes through it, it creates movement, oxygenation in the water. In nature, which is where we're ideally meant to get our water from a spring, the water has come down over rocks, it's picked up a magnetic charge, it's picked up minerals, it's cleansed itself as it goes through those rocks. And then we drink it. So the water is living, it's structured. When you look at water from springs all over the world, there is a structure to it which we don't have from tap water. That structure comes from the magnetic charge. It comes from the movement of water, not from the stagnation. And that's where cool devices like this can come in handy. This is creating a vortex in the water. It's spinning the water to mimic nature. So this is creating structured water. It's charging up the water. And why is structured water important? Well, the water molecules can lump in different ways so that your body can absorb them at a better rate. So this is how structured water works. But there are lots of different ways that we can get that structured water. This beautiful glass here has an amazing symbol on it of one of the chakras. It has a colour to it. Again, it's got this design so that the water is creating that movement. I've got this beautiful bottle of water here, which is an orgone device in the bottom. It's got crystals in it. It's a charged water, so we're charging up the water in a different way. Water has been shown to hold memory. So when we look at water holding memory, there's an amazing book called The Hidden Messages in Water by Dr. Emoto. And what Dr. Emoto did was photographed water in different locations, and he looked at the geometric structure of that water. So he took samples of water, he froze it, and then he looked at it under a microscope. And what he found was that at sacred sites, water had a beautiful geometric structure. If water had the flower of life under it, again, it had a beautiful geometric structure. But what he also found was that if you spoke to your water, it changed the molecular structure, the geometric structure of that water. So if I said hate to this water, the geometric structure would no longer be a beautiful snowflake type pattern. It would dissolve and just be chaos. Whereas if I said love to the water, or gratitude, or kindness, or peace, or any of these lovely words, there'd be a beautiful snowflake-like geometric structure. So this is a very interesting concept, because when we start to look deeper at hydration, we're made up in our body of over 70% water, and our brain is over 80% water. So if you think about the fact that our water holds memory, what is your internal dialogue doing to your water? What's happening to your geometric structure of your water? So it's important that we put in those nice thoughts as we're hydrating ourselves. And it doesn't have to be anything that takes a long time. You can get, as I said, you can get cups or bottles that say love, or that say peace, or love and gratitude. Or you could put a little sticker on or write it on something. Or you could have a mat, a beautiful coaster that you put your water on, so it's charging it up. So it's putting that intention into the water, so that when you then drink that water, not only are you physically hydrating your cells, but you are energetically creating a beautiful geometric structure within your body. Now, when we look at water, one of the things that I've found that's very useful, because people struggle to drink water quite often, is that you start off your day by having a good amount of water. So you've slept all night, your body has been detoxifying as you sleep. What your body needs you to do in the morning after you've cleaned your mouth is to drink a good amount of water to help it carry on flushing out all of the things it's been working on detoxifying over the night. So what I like to do in the morning is I like to have a pint of water first thing. And what I do with that water is I add some things to it. And by adding these things to it, what I'm doing is I'm creating a better environment for that water to be uptaken in my body. So, for example, we're going to pour some water into my nice cup there. This is water that has been spun and is structured. And we're going to add a little pinch, just a tiny pinch, so that it's not going to taste like sea salt, salt water, of Himalayan salt. You can use raw grey sea salt, Icelandic salt, adding good salt to your water. Now I hear you saying, why would you be doing that? Well, first of all, if you're drinking natural spring water, that has minerals already in it. Salt has approximately 80 trace minerals in it. So when you're having that salt in your water, you're adding that mineral content to the water. And when you drink it, your body absorbs the water to a greater capacity because it notices the minerals in it. The other thing that you can do to your water that again helps it is add some lemon. Oh, without the seeds. There we go. We're going to add a few drops of lemon to that water. Because again, what's happening is, first of all, we're creating a more alkaline state within that water. So the water is alkalizing our body more. But also, because that water has the trace of something in it, the body absorbs it to a higher level into the cells. That water tastes amazing. So if the water tastes amazing, guess what? You're more likely to drink it. What I found is that when I drink in the morning and I have my pint of water to start the day off, throughout the day I end up drinking more. If I don't have that pint of water in the morning, what I find is I can go till maybe 3 o'clock without having any water. Yes, I've drunk herbal teas and I've had my CBD hot chocolate and I've had my all you need and I've had lots of liquids, but I've not drunk water. And drinking water is so important. So I hope that's given you some useful information about how you can start having water. As I said, start wherever you're at. If you haven't got a filter and you're just drinking tap water, get a charcoal filter. Another thing you can do is get some kind of nice jug, because what happens, one of the things in water is chlorine. Chlorine kills bacteria, but we are made up of a lot of bacteria. So an important thing to do is allow that chlorine to off-gas. It takes an hour for the chlorine to off-gas. So if you pour the water into a jug and leave it to stand for an hour, then you're going to be getting rid of some of that chlorine. So it's going to be a much better thing for your body to then drink. So get a filter of some sort, whether it's charcoal, shungite, or a great filter along the spectrum of filters that you can get. Maybe get some nice glass, something that makes you feel happy to drink water from, or a lovely bottle. You can also buy bottles that have the markings on them to show you how much you should have drunk throughout the day. Calculate your body weight and how much water you should actually be consuming so that you've got a good starting point. And if you get something like this, a jug of some sort, a vessel that you can carry with you, then you've got an indication of how many of these you're meant to be consuming. It makes it a lot easier than trying to work out how many cups, what am I doing? And then start to send your water a bit of love. Put that good vibe, that good intention into your water. Add a pinch of salt and a dash of lemon just to vibe it up that little bit more. I hope you've enjoyed and stay hydrated.